How you doing, good people? This is Dave Bit Animal. Alright, let's hop into the Wayback Machine. It's story time. We're going to go back to 1980. And we're going to visit Nintendo. Now, at this point, Nintendo was still in their infancy in the video game market. Up to this point, their experience with video games was pretty much limited to the Pong clones that they had released in Japan. And they wanted to crack the arcade market. Well, in the US, they released in test markets a game called Radar Scope. And Radar Scope flopped hard. Radar Scope was essentially a Space Invaders clone that really didn't do Space Invaders as well as Space Invaders did. And so gamers looked at this game and they didn't like it. This left Nintendo with a conundrum because they had a surplus of Radar Scope cabinets. They approached one of their younger designers, Shigeru Miyamoto, and they charged him with making a game more marketable to American audiences. And Miyamoto takes these Radar Scope cabinets and he crafts this game that will become one of the greatest arcade games of all time, one of the greatest video games of all time. If this game doesn't happen, there is no Super Mario Brothers. And the game only features 3 characters. The playable character, Jumpman. The damsel in distress, Lady. And our villain, Donkey Kong. Now, Donkey Kong, his name stayed the same throughout. Lady, when we got to America, became Pauline. And Jumpman, who was named because of his ability to run and jump over the barrels and fireballs and anything else Donkey Kong threw at him, became known as Mario. Mario gets his name from the landlord of Nintendo's office building in the early 80s, who would have thunk it. Now, everything about Donkey Kong is excellent, except the difficulty for some people. And the NES port is probably the closest thing you'll get to the arcade port, with one notable exception. It's missing a level. It's missing probably one of the more infamous levels in that game. The cement factory or pie factory, depending on who you ask, because of the little pie-looking things that pass back and forth across conveyor belts that Mario has to avoid. Now, for a long time, Nintendo released Donkey Kong twice on the NES, mind you. It was released first as part of the Black Box series, which were 30 games released. The first 30 games released by Nintendo for their console. And secondly, as one of the 2 games in Donkey Kong Classics. Now, this one is a lot easier to come across than the original Black Box Donkey Kong. I highly recommend Donkey Kong. If you want a complete version of the original Donkey Kong for the NES, there is a site that makes a homebrew cart that has that extra level in it. So I'll post the link below this video. You can definitely go pick that up. I highly recommend that you do. Donkey Kong is such a part of gamer lexicon now. It's such a part of pop culture now that there was a Saturday morning cartoon. Donkey Kong had a board game. Donkey Kong, like I said, Donkey Kong sired the Mario Brothers franchise. Donkey Kong, if it wasn't for that game, there would be no Super Mario, We wouldn't have seen a demo of New Super Mario Brothers U at E3 this year. We wouldn't have seen any of that. And if there was no Donkey Kong, we would have never gotten the incredibly humorous documentary King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters. But that's neither here nor there. Donkey Kong, if I have to convince you to get a copy of Donkey Kong, you're definitely in the wrong. You're checking out the wrong blog, because Donkey Kong is pretty much everything that's right about gaming. Everything that's good with classic gaming is in Donkey Kong. It's like a unicorn. You're a unicorn. This has been 8-Bit Animal. Catch y'all tomorrow.